Welcome to our online vigil hosted by Syria Solidarity New York City. Usually we do a vigil every Friday night in Union Square, but due to the pandemic, we haven't been able to meet safely. So we are happy to now be hosting an online vigil that's accessible to a global audience. Thank you for being here. This online vigil is being recorded and will be published on YouTube later. Syria Solidarity New York City stands in solidarity with Syrian civilians and Ukrainian civilians under siege. Both Ukrainians and Syrians demand Putin be held accountable for crimes against humanity, and we stand with them in this demand. For this week, we have a slightly longer opening video and then a shorter feature video. Our opening video today is a powerful Ukraine and Syria solidarity piece. It features Valery Oslavsky, a man from Odessa, Ukraine, and it's dated back in March a bit, but he speaks about the ongoing conflicts in both Syria and Ukraine.
My name is Valery Oslavsky. I live in Odessa, Ukraine. On the 24th of February, my daughter was woken up by the explosions in Odessa, as well as thousands of other children in Kharkiv, Kyiv, Mariupol, and Lviv. And now it's a sad week when all Ukrainian children within the day or even the weeks live in the basements. Never again. We other has this slogan from the whole world and from Russia in particular. It's been 11 years since the war in Syria started and 19 days since the war in Ukraine did. They are wars directed to total extermination. Different continents, different nations, but the aim is the same, to eradicate everything and everyone who disobey Putin. Syria 2011, Russia supports the criminal rule of Bashar al-Assad. Ukraine 2014, Russia can keep Yanukovych's dictatorship, steals Crimea, and starts what they did in Syria in some places of Ukraine. The following years, Russia fully intervened in Syria, practicing warfare against civilians, and this warfare is being undertaken on my land at the moment. Shelling of hospitals, using of cluster munitions and phosphorus bombs, firings of populated areas and of green corridors, destruction of spiritual sites. Trust me, the mosques of Aleppo matter to Syrians as much as the churches of Zhytomyr and Kharkiv matter to us. And the girl, dead in her mother's arms in Damascus, suffered the same as the one that died of dehydration under the ruins in Mariupol. The only difference is that her mother had died a few days before. Bakar is serotype and bread factory in Makariv. Probably in the view of Putin, those objects were dangerous to Russia. Putin thinks that he can rule the world and decide who lives and who dies at his own discretion. Russian draftsman of world map tries to go down in history on my land. 11 years ago, he was given an opportunity to practice because the sky was not closed. Nowadays, he is flexing his muscles and burying his fangs in front of Ukrainians. And the sky is open again. But this time, it is the sky over Europe. Don't maintain the illusion. Putin will never be sated. Ukraine is the door after which he will break into your home. You decide whether this door would be armed. The world watched and condemned crimes against humanity in Syria. The world watches and condemns crimes against humanity in Ukraine. And only armed force of Ukraine, together with the whole nation, sent orcs of the evil empire to hell. We have enough willpool to that. We have enough whirlpool so that you don't have to get your hands dirty. Ukrainians are not strangers to fight vermins on their land until victory. Nevertheless, gentlemen, give us a chance to finish with the new fascist flag. Close the sky, please. Some words about situation in Odessa. Nowadays, the Council of Odessa and all the citizens of the city take all possible actions to support Mykolaiv and other cities which are in the line of fire. We supply them with vital food and medicine, and at the same time, our volunteers evacuate the wounded peoples as well as civilians to safer places. Three Imagine Hospital are in charge of assistance to the civilian population, and the military hospital work to the military needs. Due to military activities, scheduled hospitalization has been suspended. Taking into account that the area of the region is more than 700 square kilometers, all regional hospitals are ready to assist, as well as they are also focused on helping people from the very beginning when the active phase is already there. While the heroic Mykolaiv region allows us to gain time, we found the regional humanitarian center, the aim of which is to store food and medicine supply enough for at least a month. I record this video during the curfew, and I hope to sleep at last time hours before the sounds of the first air warning wakes me and my family up to go to basement. And from all my heart, from all my soul, I wish you never had such experience.
Now we will do 5 minutes of silent vigil with everyone holding their signs. Okay, thanks everyone. And now we will show the next episode in the series of Facts and Fiction about the Caesar Law, which is a series that's put out by the Syrian Emergency Task Force. Are you guys able to see?
Mm-hmm.
هل سيؤدي تطبيق قانون قيصر إلى الإفراج عن المعتقلين السوريين؟ للأسف ما في شيء مضمون. القانون بيفرض عقوبات على الأشخاص يلي أمروا بالتعذيب والأشخاص يلي نفذوا التعذيب. أي شخص يثبت عليه عنا دليل بنعرف اسمه فينا نحطه بقائمة العقوبات. أفضل شيء موجود بالقانون من التفاصيل اللي بتخص المعتقلين إنه قانون مرتبط بالإفراج عن المعتقلين إذا النظام السوري بده يتجنب العقوبات. يعني إذا النظام السوري تعب من العقوبات بده يقول للمجتمع الدولي لأمريكا أنا وافقت ما عاد بدي العقوبات، شو بساوي؟ أول أمر هو إطلاق سراح المعتقلين بالإضافة لأمور أخرى، لكن هلا التركيز على المعتقلين. الارتباط موجود بين تطبيق القانون والإفراج عن أو عدم التطبيق والإفراج عن المعتقلين مهم جدا. قانون قيصر بيأمر الإدارة الأمريكية بدعم المنظمات اللي عم توثق أمور المعتقلين، حالات التعذيب، الناجين من التعذيب اللي عم يعطوا شهادة بالمجتمع الدولي بدول أوروبية أو بأي دولة. قانون يأمر الإدارة الأمريكية تدعم هذه القضايا، وهالقضايا لازم لاحقا تستخدم الحصول والوصول إلى العدالة في سوريا والعدالة للسوريين حتى الموجودين خارج سوريا.
Okay, thank you everyone so much for being here. Please feel free to share the link with your friends, and you can follow Syria Solidarity New York City on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We're very happy to be able to hold a space like this on a weekly basis, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good night.